Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon and today I'm back with a video that I don't think I've done on this channel before, but they say a change is as good as a rest. I mean, I'm still sat and I'm about to hold some books up, but I don't think I've ever done a video where I've chatted about 3 specific books that are out on the day that I make the video that I think you should be excited about because I'm super excited about them, but that is what this video is. One of the books I have read and is out in paperback and is by one of my favourite fiction writers. I'm going to tell you about that one last because what a teaser. The other two, and actually was a book that I talked about at an event last night, so that has been in my brain anyway. And then in the post, 2 books that I'm super duper excited about have arrived and are indeed out today, one of which was sent by the publisher and one of which I bought and has arrived on publication day, which is fabulous. So first up, I should say all these authors I also love and they're lovely, which shouldn't matter, but I think it does, frankly. So there we are. Anyway, first of the 3 books that's out today that I'm super duper excited about and will be the next book that I head to because I'm hosting, well, I don't like the term hosting an event with the author. I like it to be in conversation because basically, if you ever come to one of my events, you'll see it's just a, hopefully, really nice chat. And I'll be having a, hopefully, really nice chat on Tuesday with the lovely Elizabeth Day about Friendaholic, which, like I said, is out today and arrived from the publisher this very day. Confessions of a Friendship Addict. I have been a fan of Elizabeth Day for a long time, since I first heard How to Fail, and just thought that was such a great podcast. And then I read the book, and there was one chapter on divorce which really, really chimed with me. And I was like, wow, I found, you know, when you feel like you found someone who really gets what you've gone through and you get what they've gone through. And that's quite a magical thing to happen, I think, through the power of words. Little did I know that I would end up being a presenter on the same show as Elizabeth Day and the wonderful Andy Oliver on Sky Arts Book Club. But I did, and it's been fabulous. Really excited for this. The last book of Elizabeth's I read was Magpie, which was her 4th novel, and that was blinking brilliant, and I must go back to her backlist. But I'm super duper intrigued to read this because friendship is something that, for me, I have a complicated relationship with how I feel about friendship. I like having friends. I think I'm an all right friend. I think I could probably be a better friend, which I believe this book is good at looking at. But the big thing that I have with friendship, which is kind of a problem, is I never think that people want to be friends with me as much as I want to be friends with them. And yeah, that feels a little bit vulnerable to say on the internet, but it's true. But like, I would do anything for my friends, and if any of my friends ever call me and they need anything, like, I'm totally there. But yet still, I have this slight, not anxiety exactly, but I don't know. Is it even like, could it be imposter syndrome in friendship? I'm not sure. But I'm hoping that this book will look at that or kind of give me some insight into friendship. And I believe Elizabeth became kind of a friendship addict and, well, friendaholic. And the title does what it says, or this does what it says on the tin with the title. On the book with the title. Move on, Simon, because you're not going to be editing this one. You've not got time. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to read this. There is part of me that's slightly worried that it might make me a bit paranoid, but I'm hoping not, because How to Fail was all about embracing failures. I'm sure that I'm preaching to the choir, really, because I'm sure lots of you love Elizabeth and How to Fail and her fiction. Yeah, I'm just really, really intrigued for this, so looking forward to getting to that one soon. Then, lots of you, if you've been watching me for a while, will know that On the Red Hill by Mike Parker, which is all about the house that he and Pred inherited from a gay couple, Reg and George, who were the first couple to get legally married in Wales, or was it to have a civil partnership in Wales? Either or, maybe both, and who had been living as openly queer men in a time and place where it might not have been okay, but people were okay with it, and also looks at what it's like to be queer in a rural environment, which I don't think is looked at very much at all. I just love that book, and that place has a really special place in my heart because through the book and having gone to stay there, I've become really good friends with Mike and Preds, and also Floss the dog, who I just adore. So it's a very, very, very special book to me. And this I'm really excited about because this is Mike's new non-fiction book. And actually, it's very rare I'm excited about non-fiction, but I've got two that I absolutely can't wait for. I mean, imagine. This is All the Wide Border, Wales, England, and the Places in Between by Mike Parker. And yeah, so it's looking at that sort of border. And Mike wrote some of this during lockdown when Wales had very different rules to Britain or England, and that I think comes up in it. But I just find that whole invisible line really fascinating. And yeah, so Wales, England, and the places between. I absolutely love this cover. Harper North have done like a really, really good job with this. I bought this, the publisher hasn't sent it to me. I pre-ordered it ages ago because I wanted to support Mike, and I'm very, very excited for it. That said, I don't think I'm going to read this one for a while because, fingers crossed, Mike is going to be joining me at summer camp on the Harden Estate, where I'll be doing on the Sunday nights a event with an author, and yeah, so he's hopefully going to come and join me for that. So I want to read it near the time. Floss has made an appearance here. I had a flick through the pictures, and as soon as I spotted Floss, who I am the #1 fan of, I was just, yeah, so excited because if you've not seen my vlog of staying on the Red Hill, I will link it down below because it's a magical place. It's on Airbnb, and I can't recommend people going enough. It is glamping, and you are in the middle of the hills. You've got a natural pool you can swim in. You've got the most incredible views, wildlife galore, and then Mike Preds and Floss just around the corner if you need anything. And you know, if you're lucky, Floss will come and play with you on the regular. Although I don't want to know if she does, because then I would feel like I wasn't her person that isn't one of her two top people. Anyway, moving on. But very, very, very excited for this indeed. So yeah, it's been described as witty and engaging, which Mike is. So there we go. Super duper 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 excited for that one. And then the third book is out in paperback today, and I have the hardback because I got sent the proof and then the hardback last year, and I was going to be doing an event with this author who I adore last year for the hardback, but it couldn't work for various different reasons, and I ended up reading it last summer. But last summer, for those of you who've been around a while, was an intense time, and I ended up stopping just because everything was going on. Oh, hang on a second, sorry, my low battery sign has come on, so I don't know if you got that or not. I'm an absolute nana with a phone. I'm like, oh, anyway. So, the book is A Tidy Ending by Joanna Cannon, and I spoke about this on Sky Arts Book Club last year as a recommendation if you are wanting to try mysteries, because this book is all about a woman called Linda who has moved into a new house where she sees the post of the previous resident, Rebecca, and kind of becomes a bit obsessed with who this Rebecca woman is and a lifestyle that she kind of feels she should have had but hasn't. Her and her husband Terry aren't particularly happy, and as it goes on, there are also there has been a spree of killings and a serial killer is on the loose, and as it goes on, we start to question the people around Linda from what she sort of notices but doesn't really seem to notice, but we do as the reader. And so you have these kind of two split mysteries, which I think Joanna does absolutely brilliantly, where you have the mystery of like, who is this Rebecca? Is Linda going to find her? And why does she want this particular lifestyle? And why she becomes so obsessed about it? Actually, this book may well sing to Friendaholic, because Linda is absolutely desperate to have friends. She hasn't really, and that's part of the book. But then also you have this, who is it that might be a serial killer on the estate that Linda lives on, which harks back a tiny bit to Joe's first book, The Trouble with Goats and Sheep, which is just like one of my all-time favourite books as well. In fact, all three of Joanna's books, her novels, she's also written non-fiction, all of her books, I will say, are just stunning. The way she manages to capture the human condition, but also just, she makes the ordinary extraordinary and celebrates everything that's ordinary and the joy in human nature, but I kind of wanted to use fragility. I don't know if that's quite right, but that feels kind of right. And there's just little rhyme moments in this that are just so wonderful and have been in all of her books. It's just the way she writes, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. If I ever could write, I'd like to write sort of like Jo does, because I just think there's an essence to it that I just think is joyous, wonderful, slightly tragic. Often she uses tragedy and sadness and darker moments really powerfully, along with comedy, and sometimes it's to like make the comedy more extreme, sometimes the comedy makes the sadder things sadder. I honestly think she's just a phenomenal writer, and also she has this mass appeal, which I think is really, really hard to do. I think it's really hard to write for a big audience. Anyway, so you have the two mysteries going on, you have all this wonderful writing about people and how they behave, the good, the bad, the grey areas in the middle. I just think it's absolutely great. And if you've not got your mitts on this yet, or if you've not read any Joanna Cannon yet, please, 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 please do, because she's just fabulous. Now, you might be thinking, Simon, these books have all come out in the UK, we can't get them. You should be able to by the lovely folk at Blackwell's, because I think they deliver internationally still, even though they've been taken over by Waterstones. And I would really, really, really like recommend them. Like, it sounds odd to say I'd recommend two books that I've not read yet, especially because they are non-fiction, but I just, you know, when you've read something by an author and you have this feeling you're just going to be in safe hands with them, whatever they write next. And it's definitely more so the case with Elizabeth, because I've just read more of her books, but just the way On the Red Hill sang to me and has stayed with me, and also, you know, what's come out of that book, I think shows the power of books, but also, in a way, what's come out of getting to know Elizabeth and the friendship there is also an amazing thing to come out of. But I just think books are brilliant and bookish people are amazing, and I feel like I'm possibly gushing a bit, and this is quite a random short video for me, but yeah, I'm super duper 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 excited about all of these, having just read this one to completion this last week, and it being out in paperback today, and also just buzzing to get to these ones, this one imminently and this one a little bit later in the year. I'll put the link to summer camp down below, because if you want to come to any of the weekends, that would be fab too. I won't put the link to me and Elizabeth's event down below in Liverpool next Tuesday, because it's sold out. All the tickets have gone. There's over 150 people coming, blinking heck. So yeah, that is 3 books that I think you should be super duper excited about, because I am. 1, because I've read it, and 2, because I can't wait to read them. I would love to know in the comments down below books that you're super duper excited about and why you're excited about them, and maybe that'll excite me to pick them up in due course. Not that I need any more books, but you know, there's worse things to have addictions to, frankly. So yeah, anyway, I hope you're all doing super duper well. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it's a delight to catch up with you. This was quite a random catch up, but maybe I'll do more of these in the future if they're things that you like, randomly, willy-nilly here or there. I just said willy. But yeah, I'll be back with a vlog on Sunday, fingers crossed. I'm only saying that because I haven't finished filming it yet, because this is going to be read in it, as it's about some of the books, as was this actually, because it's about books that I have been reading for some work events since I've got back from holidays. It's been a small baptism of fire. I'm not at my part-time job at the moment. I'm going back there next week, just for 1 day next week, just to see how everything is, and then I'm back 2 days a week after that for a while before I have another little break. But anyway, yeah, I've done 2 events so far this week with 2 authors at each one, so that's been quite intense. Plus it was Pip's hen do at the weekend, it was my birthday the week before, and I've had some really big meetings today and another big one after I've recorded this, and then tomorrow it's the first judges meeting for the Royal Society of Literature Christopher Bland Prize, so I'll be chatting more books with the lovely Mina Kandasamy and Lem Sisse, which I'm really, really, really looking forward to, and maybe able to get a snippet of that on or two into the blog. Anyway, I will see you in another video very soon. The lighting's just gone awry, so it's time for me to go. Thank you for reminding me that, nature. And yeah, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, that'd be lovely. All my links to my Patreon, wish list, Instagram, and other social bits and bobs. I'm going to start doing reviews of every book I read on Twitter in my 42nd year, as people really pointedly reminded me recently. I've just turned 41. I was saying 41st year, but anyway, I was wrong and reminded continually. But I will, yeah, speak to you in another video very, very soon. Bye.